Hello everybody, welcome back to another Mystic Islands video. First off, I want to say thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Supporting the game so much, and you guys liking my videos is very much helping me understand which videos you like the most. So thank you guys so much for that. But today we do have to get through opening up the starter decks. So the first starter deck we're going to be talking about today is the Tiny Attackers deck. So as you can see right here, it's a redesign. The design of the decks has changed a little bit since last set, but that's okay, that's normal. So on the front here you can see there is a goblin, of course. You have the logo. It says Tiny Attackers, the name of the deck. And you have War of the Amulet right here. So that's obviously the set name. On this side it says Goblin Faction with the little goblin symbols. On this side it says Dwarf Faction with the dwarven symbols. The bottom has the set logo. And the top says 36 card starter deck. Has the entire deck list right here with the logo and then a little QR code where if you scan it with your phone, just on your camera, it'll take you right to the YouTube channel. So that's pretty awesome. I'm going to be showing you this in just one second, but I do have to say right here, Wicked Witch, yes, your biggest nightmare, is now fully banned. As you can see on the website, which is found on the YouTube channel, of course, if you go to ban list, you can see that 0 copies, which is a full ban, is Deep Divine and Wicked Witch, and the thing they have in common is discarding cards. So obviously that is something I'm going to be looking at going forward to make sure these cards don't happen again. So 1 copy, there's nothing. 2 copies, nothing. 3 copies, nothing. So it's just those 2 that are full ban. Everything else is fine right now. I feel like the meta is pretty healthy. And as of 1/19/22, which is the day I'm recording this video, is the day that the ban is active. You can always check here if I change anything without uploading it first. But besides that, I'll let you guys know through videos. So, alright, so let's open up the Tiny Attackers deck. It is a Goblin Dwarf deck, as you saw. So let's open her up. Okay, 36 card starter deck, of course. And it is available on the Game Crafter right now for you to purchase. So let's break it down. So the first card that you get in this is Forbidden Spell. Almost all decks should run Forbidden Spell. It is a counter for any ability card your opponent runs. So there's no real reason to not have it, I guess, unless you don't really care that they're casting ability cards. But we're actually going to get 2 copies of Forbidden Spell in the starter deck. Elf Goblin is also a nice card to get. New card. It is a 1 attack, 1 defense for 1. And it is untapped, so it comes out ready to attack or block. Very useful for the aggressive strategy of the goblins, and we're going to get 2 copies. Get Bloodthirsty Orc in here as well, a little bit of a beefier creature, cost 5, 4 attack, 4 defense. When he's casted, lose 3 health and discard a card from your hand. Not the greatest, but he is enraged. Every time he kills a creature, he's going to get 1 attack, 1 defense bigger with a limit of 3, so he could be a 7 attack, 7 defense for 5, which is pretty good value, and we're going to get 2 copies. Going to get Mystic Dwarf right here. Very nice card, actually. Cost 1, 2 attack, 1 defense. You may sacrifice this creature to help pay 1 towards another creature during any one of your turns this card is active. You're also going to get a Hulking Orc. Cost 3, 2 attack, 2 defense. When casted, you lose 1 health. As you can see, with the theme with the goblins is losing health. But they are very aggressive, so it's a very good early game card with Amber. Every time it attacks and deals damage to the opposing caster, it gets bigger with a limit of 3. So it could be a 5/5 early in the game, which could definitely mess up your opponent. You're going to get 2 copies as well. Council Watchman. Cost 1, 1 attack, 1 defense. When this creature's blocking, put a +0/+1 counter on it for the rest of the round only. So essentially it becomes a 1 attack, 2 defense when blocking. So it's good versus small creatures. But besides that, it's just a solid creature, not bad for a common. And you're going to get 2. Some fan favorites right here. Backstabbing Goblin gets reprinted and thrown in this deck as well. Cost 2, 2 attack, 2 defense. When Backstabbing Goblin attacks, the opposing caster always takes 1 extra damage point to their health. So every time it attacks, no matter if it's fully blocked or anything like that, your opponent always takes 1 extra damage when it attacks. So we're going to grab 2 copies of that right there. Canyon Dwarf. This guy does 2 attack, 2 defense. I don't know if you've seen this one yet, but if this creature is killed while blocking, add a crystal to your stash. So that could be very useful. Last resort, you need it to block, and you're gonna gain a crystal from that. So 2 copies as well. Goblin Warrior, very basic card, but 1 attack, 1 defense. When casted, your opponent takes 1 damage. Very simple. 2 of those. Also very simple. Dwarf Warrior, 1 attack, 1 defense with no skill on it, 2 of those. Get a Scavenger, which is actually, the art was done by Evercry TCG. Scavenger, it looks so nice. Definitely one of my favorite cards art-wise now. Obviously it looks sweet, and you're actually getting 2 copies in the starter deck, so that's nice. So thank you, Evercry. Dwarven Warhammer, I think you guys have seen this one before, cost 3. Attach this card to target creature, put a +2 attack, -1 defense counter on that creature. But if that creature is a dwarf faction creature worth 6 or more, that counter becomes +2 +1 instead. When he dies, destroy the ability, and it's a permanent because it attaches to him. So, going to be very useful with big dwarf creatures. And yeah, it's going to make them even more scary for your opponent, so good stuff. Venomous Viper. This is a weird card. I don't know if I showed you this one yet. Cost 3, 1 attack, 1 defense. When this creature's blocked, so when it's being blocked, roll a 6-sided die. If it lands on 3, 2, or 1, put decay on the creature that's blocking it. So this is a chance right here to take down a big creature by spending 3 crystals and rolling a dice. Definitely a weak creature, for sure, very weak. But if you can get its skill to activate, it will be well worth it if you have no removal in your hand. Dwarven Charger, booster pack cover card right there. 4 attack, 1 defense. Whenever this creature deals damage to an opposing caster, that caster takes an extra damage. So similar to Backstabbing Goblin, except Dwarven Charger has to hit your opponent first to deal an extra damage. But also, that damage is going to add up. Amulet of Distress, costs 4. Deal damage to target caster equal to the amount of creatures they control on the battlefield. Dwarven Bruiser, 7 attack, 3 defense with no skill. Not the greatest card, but, you know, it is big. Hard Look, costs 2. Look at your opponent's hand. Place 1 card of choice on top of their graveyard. Very good card right here. Actually something that you'd probably want 4 copies of just to get rid of your opponent's cards. Get a reprint rare, Ruby of Misfortune, costs 2. This isn't the best rare, probably the worst rare, just because there's no guarantee with it, but roll a 6-sided die. If it lands on an even number, your opponent takes damage equal to the number landed on. If it lands on an odd number, the player who casted this card takes damage equal to the number landed on. So essentially, you're rolling a 6-sided die. If it lands on an even number, your opponent takes whatever it lands on. If it lands on an odd number, you take the damage. So you could be paying 2 to deal 5 to yourself, or you could pay 2 to deal 6 to your opponent. I mean, you never know. Get Amulet of Power, costs 3. Put a +3 attack, +0 defense counter on target dwarf faction creature this round. Just buffs a dwarf very nicely. Could very much help you in a battle that you need to win. Get Dwarven Hunter, cost 3, 3 attack, 3 defense. When casted, look at the top card of your deck, put that back on your deck, or banish it, you get to choose. We get Dwarf Boar Warrior, also a fan favorite for the few dwarf cards that are pretty steady right now. Cost 5, 6 attack, 4 defense. Idle Obstruct, can't be affected by ability cards, and it blocks all damage that is hit to it, so very good card right there, and tough to stop. You got Goblin Swarm, cost 4. This is a very complicated card, so bear with me. 2 goblin faction creatures may attack the same creature this turn. 1 goblin creature attacks first, then the other. The defending creature deals its full attack value to both goblins. There's no bleed damage from these creatures this turn. So essentially, normally only 1 creature can attack 1 creature, but with Goblin Swarm, 2 goblins can attack 1 creature. Get a reprinted Gadney the Warrior, cost 7. 7 attack, 7 defense. When casted, put a +1 attack, +1 defense counter on target creature. That's not him. And he has Obstruct as well. So he is beefy, and he's going to buff a dude when he comes out. Throwing Blade is one of the best rares in the set. Cost 1, deal 2 damage to target creature. Super simple, actually something that's very useful, that we don't have to spend a full 2 for a Bloodthirsty, and you get a little bit more removal in your deck if you're a Goblin deck, so that's very nice. Annoying, but very nice. Then the last card in the starter deck is Magmus the Avenger, one of my personal favorites. Cost 5, 5 attack, 4 defense. When he is killed, all opponents banish the top 3 cards of their deck, and he has Enraged. Every time he kills a creature, he gets 1 attack, 1 defense bigger with a limit of 3. So, he could be a 8 attack, 7 defense, swinging huge, and if your opponent finally kills him, he's taking 3 cards off the top of their deck with him, so that's pretty awesome. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate all the support you guys are giving. Please join the Discord. I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Peace.